Hello, everyone. We have been doing pre-writing for our personal narratives, and I've been telling you over and over again, this is a writing piece that's going to be about something that happened to you. It's going to be very emotional. It's going to have a life lesson in it. It shouldn't be something that you just observed, something that happened to you. Okay. We also want to make sure that it has a lot of emotion in it. It should have some twists and turns and some conflict, anything that can make it exciting. We're going to use the metaphor of a roller coaster to our personal narratives. We don't want a flat story. When we wrote our expository pieces or our persuasive essays, we used a lot of facts. We used details to support it. This type of writing is nothing like that. It's just like the stories you read in your novels, those fictional novels, Percy Jackson, Wonder. Some of you even brought home Number the Stars, Jerry Spinelli, Maniac McGee. All right, think of those stories, but yours is going to be a personal narrative. So it's something that happened to you that made you learn something, made you feel something, and you're going to have lots of events in it. And we're going to be talking about plot. And the way we're going to show plot is really tricky. We're going to use a roller coaster metaphor for this. And I'm going to keep telling you, we want our writing to be exciting and emotional and have twists and turns just like a roller coaster does. If you're looking for a really cool ride at an amusement park, you don't want to ride a flat roller coaster. That would not be exciting. So you've got to be thinking the same way when you are putting together your story. Your exposition is going to include your story characters, your scenes, and you can't just come out and tell people, oh, my name is or her name is. You've got to introduce it in an interesting way and weave everything together so that the author can see it. You don't want to be a teller, okay? So the exposition is the first part of our stories. It's our scene, it's our characters, and then you're going to have an inciting, not exciting, an inciting, an incident, something that starts the ball rolling, something that gets the roller coaster in your story moving. And in my story, it was when I decided to do the wrong thing and cheat. Okay. So, and then that's going to get our story rolling and we get into the rising action. And think about when you're on a roller coaster and you start moving up the roller coaster. And if you've been on those wooden roller coasters, you know that they do this purposely. It's clickety, it's clackety, and it's slowly bringing you up. Okay. It's to build up the excitement. And that is what your rising action is going to do. You're building the excitement of your story. And usually you're going to have 3 parts to that rising action. And in literature, 3 is the magic number. So in our rising action, think about the 3 things that are going to build that story up, your personal narrative. And then you get to the top. And when you're at the top of that roller coaster, when you can't put your book down, when you're reading a story and it's so exciting and you have to find out what happens next, you're at the climax. That's the most exciting part, the peak. Oh my gosh, that's when everything kind of comes to a head and you're kind of looking down on the roller coaster because you know, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. That's the climax. All right. So think about what is the climax in your personal narrative. And then if you're on a roller coaster, all of a sudden, bam, as long as it took for us to go up the roller coaster, to build up, it took a while. Once you get to that climax, the falling action happens very, very quickly. Okay. This is where everything kind of starts to kind of get solved and get fixed. Okay. There's not a lot of conflict. Everything you can kind of see the solution coming together. And that last portion, when that roller coaster or the car that you're driving in pulls up and it stops, that's the resolution. That's when everything gets solved. That's the happy ever after of your story. Like if you think of fairy tales and things like that, that's the resolution. So we start off with the exposition, characters and setting, rising action. That's where you're building up your story. And you're going to have 3 main events after the main incident. Then at the top where it's so exciting, that's the climax. Think of what the climax of your personal narrative is going to be. And then quickly, we're going to drop down to the falling action, and we'll resolve everything with the resolution. So be thinking of your personal narrative, because we will be filling that in next week. All right. Something else that we're going to be working on is conflict. And we'll be doing some things to talk about conflict so you can understand. It might not be a conflict between 2 characters. Mike's story isn't like that. And I saw a lot of what you're writing about in your notes. A lot of you don't have a lot of conflict between characters. I think a lot of us are writing about stories where there's like inner conflict. So we'll be learning about that. So watch the videos, be thinking this weekend, okay? Try to think of your story like the roller coaster, okay? And if you have any questions, I am here. Mr. Netz is here. Have a good weekend. You've worked hard. We love you.